Anybody else got a case I can call?
Yeah, I've got quite a few we can call your
Hang on, Mr. Draskovich is hanging out. Mr. Draskovich and Mr. Raman, is Errico going to take a bit? Because I didn't see that you responded, so.
I didn't see, I have to check, I provided, we should be in one and done.
Stand by. State of Nevada versus William Errico on page 3.
I'm gonna bring them in, you got it.
Okay. C30766, pardon me, C307-611. I have Mr. Raman here on behalf of the state, Mr. Draskovich here on behalf of Mr. Errico, and Mr. Errico is present here, so where are we at?
Your Honor, the court's mission status negotiated, got a signed guilty, alpha plea, signed and recorded, entails a alpha plea to 1 count conspiracy.
You say it's already been filed?
Yes.
Okay, stand by, let me take a peek.
And when I looked at Odyssey yesterday, it may have been filed under an amended indictment instead of a GPA,
What?
just as a,
Oh, the guilty plea?
yeah.
Well, that would explain why I didn't see it.
No, I see an amended. Wait, unless it's in the wrong order. Then, if that's the case, no.
It's in.
I'm looking. I'm
Mr.
looking at
Draskovich
the
has a paper
amended.
copy.
Oh wait, January 5th is another amended indictment.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'll do is I'll print this out and we'll just strike that amended indictment from January 5th, if that's okay, Judge.
Sure.
And then I'll just file it in open court.
Okay,
All right,
thank
so
you,
the
thank you
January
very much.
5th amended indictment,
Yeah, you got to scroll past the amended indictment
Oh,
and then
I
the
see,
guilty
I
pleas
have it,
after
yeah.
which
that.
is
Just a clear
conspiracy to
clear.
commit a crime or gross misdemeanor. We're going to go ahead and vacate that. So now I'm going to look at the January 9th that's filed as an amended indictment, and that is actually,
No, you got it backwards.
no, I literally opened up January 9th. There's just an amended indictment.
Yeah, I
Right,
filed it.
January 5th, it says amended indictment, but if you scroll 2 pages past that, it's the guilty plea after that.
Okay, so I'm leaving that amended indictment from January 5th. I'm not striking it.
No, strike January 5th.
It just needs to be renamed to guilty plea.
I can't rename things in the computer. And
Okay.
the way it's attached, what's filed, page 1 is an amended indictment on January 5th.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is, I'm reordering it, I'll file this in
So
open
let me
court.
say it. So the January 5th, I've already said it is vacated
Correct.
or stricken.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the actual amended indictment is filed on January 9th, and now I've got a guilty plea agreement that was attached to January 5th that we are now going to go through and refile as its own thing.
That makes
All right, so it looks like he's pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit a crime, a gross misdemeanor pursuant to North Carolina v. Alford. He is to pay $50,000 to the named victim, WB. If it's paid, they're going to recommend credit for time served. Did I hear you say that it has been paid?
It has been paid.
Do you have proof of that?
Right.
Yep. All right.
Trust check from Mr. Draskovich.
All right. So we're going to go through the whole shebang right now.
And the matter is to be closed today.
Correct. We presume that you would not need a gross misdemeanor worksheet under the circumstances.
Oh, I'm fine with that. If both parties are fine with that. And it's not anything that requires any special sentencing.
No, Your Honor.
I don't see anything listed in there. All right. Sir, is that your understanding of the negotiations?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Raman, is that your understanding as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, what's your true full name?
William Keith Errico, Your Honor.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm 62.
And how far did you go in school?
20 years.
So you can read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. And are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol that would impact your ability to understand what's going on here today?
Not at all, Your Honor.
All right. Did you receive a copy of the information alleging conspiracy to commit a crime, a gross misdemeanor?
Yes, I
Did
did.
you read it?
Yes.
Understood it?
Yes.
And you had Mr. Draskovich here if you had any questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you need me to read it out loud to you here today?
Not at all, Your Honor.
And sir, did you receive a copy of the guilty plea agreement?
I did.
And you read through it?
Yes,
And you have Mr. Draskovich available to talk about the charges, your case, and any possible defenses?
absolutely.
All right, sir. As to the charge of conspiracy to commit a crime, do you plead guilty, not guilty, or guilty pursuant to Alford?
Yes.
Which one?
Guilty pursuant to Alfred.
All right. Are you making this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Has anybody forced or threatened you or anyone close to you in order to get you to enter this plea?
Not at all.
Has anybody made you any promises other than what's contained in the plea agreement to get you to take this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, I'm looking at page 5, and it looks like you signed this on January 5th. Is that true?
That is correct.
And you did that in consultation with Mr. Draskovich?
Yes.
Sir, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up certain valuable constitutional and appellate rights as listed in this agreement?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
Do you understand the range of punishment in this case is up to 364 days in the Clark County Detention Center
Yes, Your
and a
Honor.
fine of up to $2,000?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that this offense is probationable?
Yes.
Sir, since this is an Alford plea, do you understand that I'm going to ask the state what they would seek to prove if this matter went to trial?
Yes.
And do you understand the court's going to rely on the facts as given to me by the state in order to determine whether or not there's a factual basis for me to accept this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
In consultation with your attorney, you've made a determination that it's in your best interest to accept the plea negotiations and enter an Alford guilty plea. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
And one of the reasons you decided to do this was to avoid a harsher penalty if you were convicted of the original charges at trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions you would like to ask me or your attorney before I accept this plea?
No, thank you.
Mr. Raman, if you would give me the factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor. Had we proceeded to trial based upon the original indictment that we had filed, we believe we'd have proven that on or between July 17th of 2007, February 2nd of 2012, the defendant committed conspiracy to commit a crime by making unauthorized transfers from lawsuit proceeds that would have belonged to Deanne Clark and Wilfred Bosserman in an unlawful manner.
Right. And what was the date that occurred?
Between July 17th of 2007 and February 2nd of 2012.
All right.
Here
The
in
court,
Clark County.
appreciate that.
Sure.
The court is finding that there is, the state has provided an adequate factual basis for the court to accept this plea of guilty. I'm going to therefore find the defendant's plea of guilty pursuant to Alford is freely and voluntarily made, and that he understands the nature of the offense and the consequences of his plea. And, therefore, accepting his plea of guilty, are both parties prepared to go forward with sentencing today? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, sir, you are hereby adjudged guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit a crime, a gross misdemeanor. In addition to the $25 administrative fee, you are hereby sentenced to a term of 20 days in the Clark County Detention Center with 20 days credit for time served and a restitution in the amount of $50,000, which the court notes has already been paid. Therefore, this case is closed today.
For what it's worth, he states that he was in custody for 5. So, just credit him.
Credit for time served.
Who's the restitution supposed to be payable to?
To the estate of Wilfred Bosserman.
The estate of Wilfred?
Yes.
Willfred?
There's one L. Wilfred. Bosserman. Bosserman.
And vacated jury trial judge?
That's correct.
And the state's motion is moot?
Yes.
All matters are closed.
Everything's closed.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Good day, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Kelly?